Manever I say ma PENDREAM TV. PENDREAM TV there, I see them yopo.
The 31st, which means that the good old 2025 is passing away now, and we are at the point where we're welcoming 2026. This is going to be our last, obviously. It's going to be the last episode for this year. We're coming back next time with fire and dynamite. But let me say thank you to everybody. And as we always start on tears, we tell it like it is and let the chips fall where they may. And once again, we say all the time, the truth crashed to earth shall rise again. We haven't been on maybe 2-3 weeks, tears hasn't been on. But truth crashed to earth shall rise again. And as we say all the time to our good friends that I call the apostles of Jandam, we know you are gearing up for next year. Next year. We know all you Jandams, you are gearing up for next year. We will be here next year to meet up with you. And let me say, finally, what time is it? And the answer, as you always say, is nation time. It's nation time. So, folks, here's the deal. First of all, let me thank all of you out there who came to support the show I did at Cactus Creek. Old age is a rascal. Great show. We did 2 days. Fantastic. People are asking for more. So stand by. There's going to be a popular request repeat coming up soon at Cactus Creek. It was fantastic. Those of you who missed it, stay tuned. More to come. But today, being the last day of the year, I have a few things to say. First of all, let me say this. I want to thank all Ghanaians for standing on the right side of history. I want to give Ghanaians thanks for standing on the right side of history. Let me explain. You know, there comes a time in the lives of nations that certain moments come. And during those moments, the people in the nation have to take a stand. Sometimes they take a stand on the wrong side of history. Sometimes they take a stand on the right side of history. And you know something, folks? When you take a stand on the right side of history, it's a game changer for the nation. It is a game changer for the nation. Let me make this basic. All I'm talking about is Ghanaians. Last year we went to the election and overwhelmingly we voted for change. And that, my dear friends, as my good friend Black Rasta will say, my brother, my sister.
My brother, my sister.
And that, my brother, my sister, was standing on the right side of history. When we voted for change, we stood on the right side of history. Because when you stand on the right side of history, that alone itself is a game changer. That alone can redefine the destiny of the nation. And I will tell you today plainly, and I'm glad we did not make a mistake. I'm very, very glad that Ghanaians overwhelmingly decided to stand on the right side of history. If not, Ghana would have been in a chaotic, what should I call it, banana republic right about now. But we spoke overwhelmingly and we voted to be on the right side of history. Now, having said all of that, this year has ended. It has been a very, very, very good year. For all kinds of reasons, man. For the first time in the history of this nation, our currency has remained stable for close to 1 year. Come on, man. That must count for something. For the first time in our history, we have seen fuel prices drop significantly, even if there have been some upsurge surges. Overall, we've seen a very significant drop, and that is magnificent. For the first time in several years, folks, I don't even know how long, but in decades, we have actually seen prices drop.
Na me buy me hu so ma te bo no so omo age me 50 Ghana na omo je 56 te me bo ma ba so pa me bo ma ba so
ampana ebia eti ati say ya tisu mo but na no point me frukawa but omo tisu amaye our drivers in the omo ya de mum any aban so ya de aban no ya de pa because aban dada no ya wonu sa wow we say we abade na ya danasi.
Folks, this must mean something. Whether you like it or not, this must mean something. So to JM and to his team, I say the first year, which is ending today, practically is ending, has been magnificent, folks. Upo, umpo, whether you are NDC or not, I don't care. We are all Ghanaians. And I'm saying that for the first time, Ghanaians have witnessed a very progressive forward march. So Jim and your team, thanks. You show them some love, man, before we go on. Okay. So this is what I want to say today. Every time I say Nyaka in the dorsal, which means we've started well, we have started great, but no time to be complacent. Absolutely. No time to be so overwhelmed with accomplishments that we decide that this is now time to relax. Let me tell you a proverb in Twi, and then I'll explain later. Yes, say, Obia or town, or town. So gusu tawa. What do you mean? I say, hey, my brother, me transit kakra. Let me explain the proverb. They say, if somebody doesn't like you, let's say if there's an enemy chasing you, and you are running away from the enemy, you don't have the luxury of saying, I'm tired, I want to take a rest, while the enemy is still chasing, trying to get you. You cannot afford to rest. What am I saying? I'm saying that yes, people who believe in nation building, people who say things so far are good and they're great and the direction is right, people who are now determined to make Ghana work, people who are determined to make sure that this country rises again. This is not the time to say, it's been 1 year, now we can't chill small. No! Those who are interested in bringing down the country, the nation wreckers, they are not taking a rest. They are following you. They are coming giddy, 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 with one aim, folks. And the aim is simply bring the country down. For some reason, that's why I say all the time that nation wreckers are mentally defective. Why am I saying this? Massa, Ghana, if this country progresses, is it not for all Ghanaians? If this country is doing well and things are coming up, we can now afford ourselves to good healthcare, good schools, good things are happening positively. Isn't it the benefit for the whole Ghana? Regardless of your tribe, regardless of your religion, regardless of your party, things are going well. As a Ghanaian, you're benefiting. So I say it is only the mentally retarded, only who stand aside say, oh Charlie, me I hope something goes wrong. Who actually pray that something should go wrong. That is the nature of our politics. Unfortunately, it goes for both ways. If there's a side in power, there's other side also praying. Please fail, so that we too can come and fail some. You know, so this is the kind of politics that we are in. There's always a side that is praying for things to go bad, for the country to drown, so that one reason we can now come and say, and didn't we say they will drown the country? Now we are back to save the country.
I want him to fail. I want my party to win the 2028 election.
So you want him to fail?
I want I don't want Mahama to succeed as in succeeding, because I want my party to win.
It is a mental disease. Adam Bonudebia Mekon. You see, many have lost it, but not all are naked. People are walking in town naked, disheveled, so who has this guy that he has lost it. I'm telling you, in Ghana, there are many people who have lost it, but they are dressed nicely. So as we come to the end of the year, JM and your team, this is more like a recap of the year. The scorecard is so far so good. But I'm saying it is not the time to relax. Why? Because trust me, if you think there was Jandam in the first year, from our own little intel that we are picking, the Jandam that has been masked up starting next year is overwhelming. Let me, by the way, explain the word Jandam. If you go into politics, the word Jandam is explained in politics as the big lie. The big lie. That is what Jandam is. Come up with a lie that is so big, but so well orchestrated, so well pushed on the people that they actually start to believe in the big lie. So I'm telling you, Jam and your people, if so far you think that Jandam is worrying you, it hasn't started. The Jandam is going to come aggressively as we go into this year. You know? Because JM, you know how they always say that 9-day wonders. Let me say something before I continue with the 9-day wonder thing. There were very, very many people, even in the NDC, who were expressing their sort of, I don't know, disappointment with JM's. But JM, why do you even want to run again? I'm serious. There were many people from both sides of the house. JM, why do you even want to run again? There were some people that were saying that the mess, the decadence, and the rot that the MPP is leaving is so overwhelmingly that JM, Charlie, please don't go. Let them come and sit on the rot and the pile and let them fix it. So generally, people didn't have that confidence that anything positive will come. If they were expecting anything positive, they were figuring that even if JM comes, it will take like 1 year, 2 years to start stabilizing things and to start putting things right. That's what many people believed in. I tell you, there were many, if in James' first time, like for the first 7 to 9 months, the city was still depreciating and going against the dollar. People say, when I saw buy and share, yet I say, moment time. I swear to God, that's what people have said. If JM had inherited, if JM had started with the city crumbling lower, with energy crisis emerging again, there are people that would have said, oh, you give him some time. He just took over. And the rot he inherited there, this is expected. So leave him now. Let's give him some time small. Let's give him 1 year B. But folks, this is what I'm talking about. Within a matter of the first 2 months, people started seeing the difference. Within a matter of a few months, people started seeing the difference. And people were in shock that what at all are they doing? And as you remember, there were many people in the opposition that would say, oh, this thing is just luck. It's just because there's no international war.
Look, do you know why the city is stable? No, I want you to understand. Do you know why the city is stable? The city is stable not because Dr. Forson at the finance ministry is doing anything special. It's because government is not spending. It's because contractors are not being paid. It's because there's no liquid in the circulating in the economy.
It's temporal.
It is not any economic gurus in this country that is causing the cedi to appreciate and the dollar to depreciate. It is the wealth market that they are not demanding the dollars as much as they used to. That is why there's no competition, and supply of dollar is exceeding the demand. As simple as that. These are basic economics principles.
The appreciation of the cedi that we have seen recently, I think one of the things that if you ask a simple question to the NDC to point out exactly what policy they have implemented that has resulted in the appreciation of the cedi, they cannot tell you one.
Every reason but the fact that a new leadership had taken place and there was a little bit more discipline and a little bit more focus on building. Nobody wanted to talk about that. I was just saying, oh, it won't last. It's a 9-day wonder. And that is what many, many people thought, including me. Yeah, it's a good start, but we should be very soon. Folks, that was the feeling of Ghanaians. That this thing, great, but it's not going to last. It took everybody by surprise. Within the first 2-3 months, the cedi started showing strength. And people were confused and said, oh, there's no policy to this. All kinds of reasons and explanations. But the cedi started gaining its momentum, staying there. It's been 1 year, folks. It's 1 year. We have experienced not only the cedi stabilized, but it appreciating after 1 year. And I don't care what party you belong to. I don't care your religion. I don't care. This is a time that you pause and say, wow, something was done right. I remember when the former president, Nana Akufo-Addo, was leaving, His Excellency. He said, I'm leaving, but I've left the lights on. Do you remember?
Very happy to say that I leave office with the lights on.
I have left the lights on. Do you know what he was saying? That with the coming back of Mahama is going to be the resurgence and the re-emergence of Dumso. Even, what's his name, Ben Powers on radio saying, you watch, Dumso is coming back.
There will be Dumso coming soon.
There will be Dumso coming soon.
Dumso, I know. I mean, the energy sector, I know there will be Dumso coming soon. Expect it. Dumso will be coming soon.
And what was the confidence in saying that? Because of the mess and the rot that they had heaped, they knew that there was no way any president can come in and inherit that rot and will be able to manage the country without Dumso. So it's something that was expected. Me, I've left the lights on. And trust you me, folks, if there had been some Dumso in the initial stages, Ghanaians would have said, I say, okay. And one thing that I liked is that Mahama chose not to play the blame game. That you have left this and you have left this, and if Dumso comes again, I've inherited this, blah, blah. No, he didn't even get into that. He says, this is what I've inherited.
Normally, to forestall blackouts because of the loss of almost 2,000 megawatts of power, we have to make provision for fuel. And this is light crude oil, heavy fuel oil, and distillates fuel. Unfortunately, enough provision was not made for this eventuality. When the fuel arrives, it takes time to import it, 3 weeks to place an order and get it delivered. And when it arrives, you have to treat the fuel for another week and a half to make it ready for use in the generating plants. And so there's a threat of power outages. My brothers and sisters, don't despair. Like I said, you elected us to solve the problems, not to put the blame on anybody else or to shoulder you with those problems.
But I'll fix it.
And so yesterday I called a meeting of all the stakeholders in the electricity value chain. And they have been sitting since yesterday to today to come out with innovative solutions so that we're able to keep the lights on. And so I can assure you, with some of the ideas they've come up with, we would make sure that your lights stay on and that we do not have doomso, as you popularly call it.
I'll fix it. I accept full responsibility for it because my elected me president, and I'll do all I can to fix it. Folks, let's move on. What's fixed? The deadly effects of doomso that many had expected didn't happen.
Now Ghanaians said that the president is hurting their eyes with light. Because he has managed to keep the light on and restore doomso.
Mr. John Mahama. John Mahama. You may have shown Sanyo now, you know. You may have shown, sir. You see, my fridge, light, unum kakara, unum light in a kakara. Me barfi, be a better better lapia and quine, barfi. Me near my nina block. You say, Madam Madidi. Your mamma do light in a kakara, do light in a kakara, do light in a kakara, do light in a kakara. Ade, Emoli nina, then, we emoli, mole, and wa mole. Ade.
So if you're sitting down somewhere thinking that all of this was just nothing, it didn't take any planning, it didn't take any thinking, it didn't take any orchestration, it just happened as a and that, then you are sick in your mind. Wake up, folks. Wake up. You know, I mean, we are at this point of our development, and I have said time and time again that from the minute Mahama assured us that he's going to fight on resetting, I'm getting on the resetting agenda. It's a tough one. It's a tough one. But that is the only option we have as Ghanaians to reset our thinking, reset our direction, and move forward. That's why I was commending Ghanaians that all of you who voted so massively for change, you did so on the right side of history. And everybody that's listening to me now, I am telling you, please change that mindset and decide that whatever it is we are going through as a nation, we should all put our hands in and fix this nation. And if you make that decision, I can assure you, a year or so down the line, you will also be very happy with yourself for taking a stand on the right side of history. You know, but all the time I said this, just imagine that this loot had continued. Look at the loot that allegedly Wontumi and the likes had done to Ghana, how Ghana has been bled.
Chairman Wontumi, as I said, took out invoice and replaced it with receipt to, deceive Exim Bank that he had actually purchased the equipment. Investigations established that Chairman Wontumi did not purchase any equipment and as such could not register any equipment in the joint names of Exim Bank and Wontumi Farms Limited as per the loan conditions, even though funds were disbursed to him to that effect. That all the equipment he claimed he purchased could not be traced. Investigations established that though Chairman Wontumi submitted the forged receipt to Exim Bank, he stated during interrogation that he purchased second-hand brand new, whatever that means, second-hand brand new equipment, and that the receipts of all the purchases, including the documents on the equipment, were all sent to Exim Bank. However, Exim Bank has confirmed that neither Chairman Wontumi nor Wontumi Farms Limited submitted any documents covering the purchase of the required equipment except the forged receipts. In fact, when our investigators went to the ground, they realized that there were some obsolete, decrepit machines on the side. Tractors dating back that were manufactured in the 1970s, and that were not functioning, were the ones that had been placed on the farm. So this was definitely a grand scheme designed to defraud Exim Bank. It is clear from our investigation that Chairman Wontumi and his company, Wontumi Farms Limited, made fraudulent misrepresentations to Exim Bank with a view to obtaining the loan facility, and in fact did obtain the loan facility. The equipment they represented were to be purchased were never procured. The farming enterprise never materialized. In the face of the evidence we have gathered in this investigation, thoroughly conducted by the Economic and Organized Crime Office, we have made the decision to prosecute Wontumi Farms and its directors with defrauding by false pretenses, forgery, and causing financial loss to the state in the sum of 24,255,735 Ghana cedis.
Look at that loot and imagine that it had continued. And can you imagine how much more loot this country would have gone into? Ghana was at a stage where it was like reckless. It has been recklessly abandoned. Yet free. Part of the stories of the loot, you haven't heard even a quarter, a fraction. And as we come back next year and we push Ghanaians, stay on the right side of history. Please, don't let's give up. It can be rough sometimes. We're going to go into certain things that, of course, those who are planned themselves to continue Jandam will be happy to say, Yanka. But I'm saying, let's stay the focus. The advice I give to JM is this, please. Even before I give JM advice, something about me. I don't care too much about parties. I vote for leaders. I'm telling you, I vote for leaders. I don't vote for a party. I vote for a leader that I can trust, a leader that I respect, a leader that I know that his charm and charisma will rub off his party. And that's my choice of picking who I want to lead the country. It's the leader, not the party. There are many people in parties that do not think like the leader. I won't be surprised if there are many NDC people who are not aligned to the vision of Mahama. I won't be surprised. It will be I'll be very surprised if every single NDC member was aligned to that vision. I'm telling you, we are all human beings. In Ghana, we have come from the same background of Kalabule, the same background of selfishness, the same background of greed. We are all Ghanaians. Some of us happen to have gone in the MPP. Some of us have gone to the CPP. Some of us went to the LPG. What's that guy's name? LPG Akpalu. Corrupt, insignificant liar and looter like Akpalu. Onokrati Party.
Economic and Organized Crime began an investigation into the matter. Ekua Poma also alleged that Akpalu forged her signature on the cocoa board contract using her former name, Mercy Owusu, to secure the agreement without her authorization. The suspects who have been investigated are Percival Kofi Akpalu, Poma Ghana Limited, the Poma with the H, and Delvin Akpalu, his wife. That is the spouse of Kofi Akpalu. The evidence shows that they engage in various criminal offenses, including stealing, forgery, and money laundering.
So many people have gone into several parties, all from Ghana. So for me, my position is that so long as it's the same Ghanaians in the MPP, the same Ghanaians in the NDC, the same Ghanaians in the CPP, I will not give a blind trust, say, because I don't trust the Ghanaian nature one bit. No matter how rightful a Ghanaian is, when it comes to greed and selfishness, something overtakes their thinking. I won't be surprised. Now, as I'm talking, there are people in the NDC who do not even align themselves with the vision of Mahama. I won't be surprised. There are people in the NDC who team up with other people in other parties just to undermine what is going on. That is Ghanaians. So, Jam, I'm telling you, your task is bigger than you ever dreamt of. I'm sure you have dreamt of that. We are seasoned. You have gone and you've come back again. But I'm telling you, folks, we can't rest here. We can't take things for granted. You know, because the weapons that have massed up to jandam this nation, you cannot imagine. The Maritime Parliament is now calling for we should probe the BOG, we should probe Sami Gyamfi, what is happening with the gold. IMF said this, IMF said that. I don't want to comment on that yet, but I will. And the reason I won't say anything now is that Sami Gyamfi, who is the executive head of the gold board, means that January 5th he's going to be addressing these issues. I don't know whether he'll be addressing them as a press conference or what, but Sami Gyamfi has promised Ghanaians that all these things that are coming, room for jandam. The IMF said the gold board has done this, blah that, all to create that atmosphere that all is not right. It's going to even explode next year. You watch next year. If you think you have seen jandam, watch what happens next year and where the jandam will be coming from. So you watch. So for me, I say I won't say anything because Sami Gyamfi says he's come to answer all the questions. I'm going to listen to all his answers. And I've listened to everything that the opposition is saying. And when I get all the answers, we shall put them all together and we'll be back on this show to analyze. But I'm saying this, folks. I am saying this. The one thing that I am happy with is what I've said. The Ghanaians chose to vote on the right side of history. So I can't thank Ghanaians enough for voting on the right side of history. I can't thank you enough. It's a mistake we couldn't have afforded. And voting on the right side of history has given us a chance for a rebirth and a chance for the resetting. Before I wrap up, let me give a message to parliamentarians, minority and majority. Let me tell you this, parliamentarians, listen to me. We have not voted for you to go out there and behave like schoolboys and schoolgirls. What the parliamentary diagro? You guys, sometimes I wonder, are these the parliamentarians that people lined up to go and vote for? You be sitting in the parliament, yeah. I don't see any dynamism coming out of parliament. We are not joking here. Look, if you think that this platform has gone easy on parliamentarians, we are going into next year. We'll be taking on one by one. Please, let's stop the childishness. Let's stop the stupidity in parliament. Let's stop this myopic, archaic idea that I'm in minority, me opposition. Everything must be opposed. And on the other hand, I'm in the majority. Everything must go our way. No, we're not going to run Ghana like this anymore, folks. If you do the same thing, chances are you get the same results. So we are not happy with the results that we have been getting as a nation. So we have to change the way we do things. So, Your Excellency President Mahama, tell your majority that they should take the lead in setting new standards of thinking, new standards of debate, new standards of conduct in parliament. And the minority, I hope you follow the same. You are not put there because everything must be opposed. Yes, I've been in the womb. Yes, I've been in the womb. They are conducting the Kumasi-Accra Expressway, an expressway that will link Accra to Kumasi so that the travel time will be cut, so the business revenue will go up, so that everything possible will happen.
Mr. Speaker, the Honorable Asenso Boache suggested that the proposed Accra-Kumasi Expressway is wasteful. And that we in the opposition oppose the dualization. Mr. Speaker, that cannot be the case. Mr. Speaker, I was surprised and amazed to see a colleague, member of parliament, particularly an MP from Kumasi, to describe the project as wasteful. Mr. Speaker, an MP of which the road is leading to his constituency will say that the road is wasteful. Mr. Speaker, to the extent that the said MP wrote to the president to say to the president that don't do that project. Mr. Speaker, I am surprised. I am surprised. I am surprised. Mr. Speaker, I'm surprised to hear that. And so, Mr. Speaker, let me say this. Let me say this. Let me say this. That this road from Accra to Kumasi is more than a road. It is opening up a country. So for an MP from that constituency to write and to say that the road is wasteful and we should not do it, and write to the president that the president should not do the project, Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, it's untenable. Right, Honorable Speaker.
Because you're opposition. Me, this kind of games, I'm tired of it. Not only me, Ghanaians are tired of this nonsensical parliamentary games that you play. Start reasoning like adults. People are sitting back a bit. People have time. They sit down on TV. They hear parliament. Give them a reason to watch it. Let them hear profound discussion. Let them hear intelligent debate. Let them hear that, wow, finally, this country is on the right track. And stop that boarding house, boys and girls, foolishness that you play in parliament. And tokwa, fighting, throwing of chairs and stupid things in parliament. And after that, get upset when you're not addressed as an honorable. Take that assignment on yourself today. Go and research, Google, Oxford Dictionary, wherever you go, find what honorable means. And when you find out what honorable means, come and tell me that some of your behaviors in parliament have been honorable. They suck. They are disgraceful. And what hurts me is that young ones are watching you. Sometimes they come to parliament. They want to see how our parliamentarians, who we have voted for, who we have entrusted the destiny and future of our country into their hands. Let's go and watch how they discuss issues. And then grown-ups who are supposed to be mature, more kuntokwa, throwing chairs, making noise, silly things that when my child does it in a boarding school, I'm going to say, when their size is okay. When my child in a boarding school does some outrageously silly things, I say, oh, when I say, you've all been through that. It's okay. Give them a chance to also vent their youthful exuberance. I understand that. But folks, let me tell you, parliamentarians, I do not understand that or expect that to see mature adults do the same in parliament. I don't. It is totally unacceptable. We're going to be very, very, very hard on you. I'm glad that some constitutional reviews have taken place. We won't talk about that now, but we'll talk about them in the future. And we hope that that will gradually bring today a new thinking in a new direction in Parliament. But so far, please, you have not impressed me one bit. You have not. And I'm not talking to any one side. I'm talking to Parliament as a Parliament. You are the legislative body. Munamu making laws for the country. Let's see you do something. Folks, I'm wrapping up, but this is the last show of the year. And I just want to give you a signal of what to expect next year. We won't come here and joke anymore. All of you Jandamites, please, we are going to get ready to meet you head on. Because it's tiring when people are working hard to build a nation and there are others who are so determined to bring down the nation. As I say, standing today, if something happens and tomorrow it's announced that, oh, the city is now losing value and fuel rates are going up, and there are people who say, yay. There are people who, at such a horrific news, will rejoice for only one reason. It is not their party in power. That is complete stupidity. It borders on being abnormal. I'm sorry if I have to be blunt. We are entering 2026, if I should declare the year of bluntness. I'm telling you, on TS, 2026 is going to be the year of bluntness. Sometimes I measure certain things for the good of the country. But I also realize that if we don't start getting blunt, people will not get the message. This compromising tone of trying to get everybody on board is over. 2026, I'm declaring a year of bluntness. And please, Jam, 1 year has been fantastic. You've been on the right path. Please, Amika Cabral said one thing. He says, tell no lies. Claim no easy victories. Keep the course you're on like that. Don't tell any lies. Don't claim any easy victories. Let people understand that the task ahead is enormous. The task ahead is gargantuan. But more importantly, whether it is enormous or gargantuan, it will be accomplished. So that at the end of the day, all of us will be happy to realize that the task has been accomplished. To Ghanaians who voted on the right side of history, please don't be misled into thinking that you made any mistake. No, you didn't. Crap may come and go, but stay focused. Stay focused. We will be here to keep our buying on his toes, to stay focused. And trust me, if they are buying deviates or diverts, we'll be here to remind our buying that we have a mission that you promised us. And we are going to make sure that that mission is accomplished, whether you like it or not. We will come and we'll point that out. If there's one assurance I'll give Ghanaians, that on this platform called TS, we are not neutral. No. We are objective. When you have right here and wrong here, we don't say, oh, we are neutral between right and wrong. No, that's bull crap. We are for the truth. We are not fair. We want to be with the truth. So folks, have a very, very happy new year. I wish you all the blessings and all the best for the new year. And I'm telling you, join us for the new year with one.
PENDREAM TV. Now, so far so good. Say open online portal e Ghana. Nipa share, nipa follow, nipa comment here. To my best of knowledge, without any biases, PENDREAM TV.